2, 1. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining in. We have a full house tonight. This is awesome. And Julia has a cold, a very bad cold. And she asked me if I could fill in for her. So I'm filling in. And I'm going to try and keep this pretty quick and to the point because I know everybody wants to go, crawl in on the couch with their comforters and soup because of the rain and everything. So I just want to share something with all of you that came up, and I had no idea about this. It happened to 2 of my consultants, and I believe, Linda, you may have experienced this issue. If this sounds like it could be a possibility, maybe it's what happened to you. I had a preferred client sign up underneath another consultant under me, and her whole order, and no, she signed up as an independent consultant. Hello. And she literally was put under a different person. So what's happening now, if people have sort of common names, and now that we're opening up globally, there's other people with the same name. And I didn't realize this because every time I had shared her website or she shared it, her picture always came up, and it was always www.courtneyalexander.arbonne.com. Well, it turns out there's another Courtney Alexander. So what Arbonne's doing now is if there's 2 similar names, the same names actually, they put the independent consultant ID after the name. So I am going to do my share screen quickly so that you can see where you're going to find the website link. It's right under your, it's in your dashboard. You scroll down below your stats and it says your personal website link is. Now you see mine, but what it would do is it would have the ID number after my name, .arbonne.com. Okay, so I want everyone, Joan, I don't know if you heard that. Joan was amazing. She stepped in and she took everything to VIP support because Arbonne, when I called, it was a little difficult. And, but anyway, so it was great. So I'm gonna unshare my screen, hopefully stop share. So that's where the link is. So when you have someone sign up with a similar name for independent consultant, just go to have them go to their web stats in their dashboard and go down and see what their link is, okay? Because you want to be handing out the right link. So I don't know if that happened with you, Linda, but it happened actually with 2 of my consultants, and it never was an issue until this week. So we're going global, so there's a lot of people that have similar names and, Australia, New Zealand, etc. So anyway, just wanted everybody to know that. And the word from Maui is there are great things coming down the pike for all of us, that there's a lot of changes that are going to help us be able to build our businesses easier. So stay tuned for that, because MVPs are very excited at Maui about all the new things that are going to be happening. And to kind of go over this cell phone challenge, Joan, to fill you in, thanks so much for calling in. I'm so excited, you guys. Joan Gillette, who is our ERVP, is on the training call. We love her. I'm so excited to get together with you. And she's going to be at GTC, and yeah, she's our ERVP. Woohoo! So Joan, Mel Robbins has this free Reset Your Mindset for 2019. It's a phenomenal training, and I actually ordered her calendar. She doesn't want to sell anything, but I ordered her calendar because I wanted it. It's really helpful, and it's really, so one of the first tasks was for the cell phone to put in a different room the night before, so that in the morning when you wake up, you're focused. And we really have to protect our mind from the first 2 hours, especially when we wake up, because then we're just bombarded with so much stuff. And then this stuff gets in our way of doing Arbonne. And I have to confess, that happened to me today. I was not distracted, but I allowed some excuses to get in my full way. I did some Arbonne, but I didn't do the chunk I really wanted to do. But I'm continuing the cell phone challenge where it's in my other room. And I know my results were I felt calmer. I don't feel as stressed out. I feel like I can make swifter decisions in the morning, which is great. And I definitely feel more focused. Would anyone like to chime in on that from last week? If oh, and then before I get to that, sorry, I wanted to say congratulations because Kate's doing the challenge, the 35-day mindset reset, and Athena's doing it, and Angelique is doing it. And I'll post on our page a link again, just so if anybody wants to join in, you can do it at your own pace. It doesn't matter if you start tomorrow. It's not a big deal. You can start anytime, but I highly recommend it because, as you know, in Arbonne, this game is won or lost with your mindset. Literally, your paycheck reflects your mindset. But that's okay because as adults, we can change our mindset. We can't fix what happened to us as children, and we had no control over people that maybe gave us a negative mindset. Not everybody on this call has a negative mindset, which is great, but for those who might, you know, as kids, we can't change that, but as adults, we can. So I really recommend get the radio in your head, and when you hear the negative, just go, turn it to the happy station. So, and Mel Robbins is really helpful with that. So getting back to the cell phone, did anyone do that challenge and get any great results? Anybody want to chime in?
Yes, I've been keeping my phone, well, I usually do anyway, keep it in the other room. I can hear the alarm go off in the morning, but I'm not running to it to check things first thing in the morning like I was. I'm trying to give myself some time first, like you said, to get focused before I start getting addicted to that phone.
Right. Yeah. Kate, were you going to chime in or anybody else?
Yeah, I was just going to say that I read some of her stuff a while back where she talked about that in the morning, and some of the other stuff I've been looking at, Brendan Burchard and some other people about the power of the morning. So I have been a lot more intentional about not checking email, and I'm pretty good about that. What I found is I am starting to really just schedule my business activity, and that is helping already. I probably had done more reach outs in the last week than a long time. And I think I'm just trying to make, it's a challenge because I have to keep pulling myself back, and it is easy to get distracted, but it's getting easier. So yeah. But the phone, not going through the phone or not logging on to email, I think is so important. So keep on it.
Awesome. Thank you, Kate. And did anybody have some wins? And then after that, we have Joan chime in with anything that she would like to grace us with tonight.
Yeah, I had a win.
Oh, good.
Can I just share that?
For sure. Yeah.
So today I was, I was a little slow to get started with my IPA, but I really made a commitment that this year I want it to be different. So I went off of, it wasn't a text because I didn't even have this woman's cell phone. I just had an email address for her. But I amended the text verbiage that you gave last week. Hey, I'm putting together a fun group. And I met this woman a couple of years ago on the soccer, our kids played soccer, and that was, over 2 years ago, and I've had no other contact. I reached out once to her about something else, but I really don't know her very well. Reached out and I said, if you know anybody, if I sent you some information, would you look at it and let me know if anybody comes to mind? She got back to me and she said, I've been thinking I wanted to exercise more. I've been thinking about it. and I think I'm interested. Can you send me some more information? So I did, and boom, she's already signed up as a PC. So she just bought a 30-day pack.
And what did you share with her? Did you share the s'more?
I did. I
Okay.
shared this some more with her, and she said, and I just reminded her, I said, you know, I said, let's schedule a time to talk and I can walk you through it. Here's some information first. She said, I'm so busy. And I said, well, there happens to be a special package on that ends today. So if you think you might want to do it, it's a really good day to do it. And she said, well, I can't go into details. And I said, there's a 45-day money back guarantee. And so she actually got back to me and she said, that sealed the deal for me. Here's my number, call me, I'll give you my credit card, and we can schedule a time later in the week so I can get more details. So, you know.
Great. Hey, Kate, will you share that verbiage? If everybody, when you have a text that really works and you get immediate responses, feel free to post it on our Transformation Nation page, because I think like different age groups respond to different texts. I just think it's really helpful, like even just tweaking it a little bit can be even more effective. So that would be awesome.
Well, I also I did 3 reach outs for business this week, also in text and email, and asking people if they'd take a look and let me know who comes to mind. So I need to follow up with all 3 of those people, but they all got back to me and said, sure, I'll take a look.
Great.
So I'll post those on our page, but you know, I just decided that I basically decided I needed to go through my phone. I have hundreds of contacts, and I just started dusting off old contacts and thinking, okay, who can I contact? Like one woman, sorry to monopolize the call, but one woman, she was actually the Airbnb manager that, you know, we coordinated our place over New Year's in Vancouver. So I just went back to her. I've never met the woman in person, but we had been texting. And so I thought, what the heck? I have nothing to lose. So I just did that. And here we are, maybe a conversation.
Fantastic. That's
anyway,
great.
Those are my big wins.
Yeah, you're inspiring me to get back with the people that said they would look at this more. So it's the fortunes in the follow-up. That's, you know, if they don't get back to you like that woman. And Athena, what do you have for your win? I'm so excited to hear too.
Thank you. So I shared this with Julia earlier when I saw her, and yeah, she is sick. What I did today is I decided, since it's the last day of the consultant offer where you get the 4 oils and the eye masks and the free shipping for just that one purchase, I decided to offer it to my VIPs, and within probably, I'd say an hour, I had 6 people who, wanted to do it, and 6 people who are committing to do it. Craig is actually finishing the last one of the orders now. So it's like, I threw out a couple texts, and within an hour, I had almost 2,000 QV.
Wow. Amazing.
So,
congratulations. That's awesome.
I'll make a little less commission, but my volume is growing, and I have happy clients, and they will reorder again because they'll be successful in their 30-day challenge that they're now going to be in, where they may not have been otherwise.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing that. That is fantastic. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Linda, I know that you have a win, and I'm sure Joan will be very excited to hear that.
Yeah.
Hi, Linda.
Well, this was kind of crazy. Amiga and I were going to go to a Discover Arbonne here in Fresno, and I was just really wanting to get a bunch of people to go with us. So I started praying, and I looked at my contacts, and the first name I saw was Barb. And I thought, oh my gosh, that would be so out of the blue for me to call her, because I haven't talked to her in probably a year and a half. And I called her. She was, I had been listening to things on having courage to do the harder ones first. So I went ahead and called her. And she said, oh my gosh, she said, I'm sitting here in ER with my husband. He's diabetic. He eats too much sugar, da-da-da-da-da. She said, sure, I'll come. So she came, and after the meeting, she said, I want to sign up. And she said, I think I want to be a consultant. So she did. We had some glitches similar to what Keisha was describing earlier. She went on, she was having problems with my website. I'm not sure why. I think people forget to put my middle initial in there. So anyway, she just typed in Linda Alexander, and she ended up with some gal in Kentucky. But thankfully, she hadn't completed the registration, and she hadn't completed her order. She said something told her to just stop. So we talked the next day, and we've been working on this for a few days until we could kind of figure out what was going on. But anyway, it's all resolved. She is a consultant, and she thinks that because of all the hoops that we've been going through the last few days, that she's just going to be exceptional.
That is so great.
I know.
Congratulations. You deserve it, Linda. You've been really hanging in there like a champ.
Well, thanks. It's we appreciate all the support and encouragement and training. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Does anybody else have a win, or shall we just turn this over to Joan Gillette?
No, Keisha,
Oh, come.
texted me about this call 10 minutes ago.
I know, that's okay. Well, would you like to just inspire us with your wisdom? Because you always have amazing wisdom to spread.
I do. I was sitting here thinking, just kind of taking some notes about that first hour of the day. And I'm just going to tell you my story. I'm just going to tell you what I do.
Okay.
I totally believe that you do the hardest things first. But you can't do the hardest thing first without really preparing yourself spiritually in the morning. So you're right. You have to get up and not go to social media and not look at your phone, not even exercise, I don't think. I think you go straight to two things, to a Bible and a journal and an appointment calendar. And I just set them side by side because I find that for me, my mind tends to toggle back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start out with scripture, but then it's almost like God drops in the name of someone, and I'll just make a note to the side. So the whole time that you're kind of planning your day, you're also talking to God about it at the same time. And I find that combination of spreading it out before the Lord, definitely not saying, oh, I can't think about my business right now because I'm thinking about God. For years and years, I approached to everything in a very segmented way. And what I found was that because God is in everything that we do, it's not like there's a spiritual and a secular, but there is everything wraps up together in Him. And that includes the things that are mental, emotional, but also that are just physical, tangible work. And I think the one thing that has really helped me the most is really praying about, it's a kind of a funny thing, but your lane, that one thing that God has given you to do, not only for life, but in this season of life. And definitely when you're actively building Arbonne, that is a really broad lane that you have to, with laser light focus, say, this is my lane. I'm not going to look to the right or the left. I think in our world today, it's very easy to get distracted, even if you are in your lane, i.e. working your Arbonne business. No, you have to be so single focused. I think initially when you're building an Arbonne business, it is your lane. It is what you do. And everything else, that helps you be stronger there is fine to a certain extent. We can't just totally work. We have a 7th day of rest, right? So, but I always say, Lord, is this in my lane? Is this something that I've got on my schedule today that really is contributing to my business and my purpose and how I can help others? And because that is what it is, it's a purpose business of helping other people. So,
yeah,
I mean, there's a lane, and you write it down and you go, okay, build a little schedule, then get up and get at it. And I agree with Linda, you know, the power of doing the hardest thing first. It's always easier in the morning. It
Mhm.
always is. If you wait, if you think you're going to do something at night, forget it.
Forget it.
Forget it. Forget it.
Yeah. And
I
there's,
think this
yeah.
business is over at 6 o'clock unless you have a meeting, and that you're going to, but by that time, you're not just in your lane, you're in your groove. So for me, it's really planning that first hour with the Word of God, with a Bible journal, with some kind of plan for that, and then with your appointment book, because God will drop people into your mind in that first hour that you will not think of any other time of day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's,
Yeah. And
like,
even for people that maybe are spiritual in a different way, if you just sit quietly and just be one with the universe or whatever, names do pop into your head. It's very true. And it's really about believing in order to achieve. And when you have that belief, you can help so many people. And we know that this is a wonderful, special company. So yeah, I think that's, I thank you so much for chiming in. I know it was sort of like just a spontaneous thing, but I'm so glad that you joined in so that everybody knows your face when we come to GTC. They'll know, hey, that's Joan.
Well, one of my resolutions this year, Keisha, and for Julia, is to hop back on the prayer call, get onto these calls, visit you more when I come to LA, just be a little bit more there. I think we've all had years when, you know, life is called us elsewhere, but, you know, that Arbonne, I'm not kidding, the Arbonne business is really a blessing.
It is.
It's such a blessing. We have people, I think that basically when you contact someone, you're really searching for what's best for them.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, then you can do this with such integrity and freedom and joy.
Yes.
So, so I think that's the mindset that I like to share. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, we'll wrap it up with that. That was perfect. Okay. Thanks everybody for calling in. Did anybody want to chime in with anything else before we end the call? Okay. I think we're good. All right. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, Keisha.
Have an awesome week. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.